Hello, good morning, welcome. I've decided to do 10 more minutes on this painting, and I'll just show you what I've done there. I've added a yellow tabletop. I think that'll be good for a change. Here's Maisie. Right, Maisie, up. See? There's Maisie. I'm going to take her for a walk after this, but you're going to go away and be quiet now. Go on away, Maisie. So I forgot to say, my name is Anya Devine, and I'm a painter and an art teacher, and you're most welcome. Thanks very much for joining me here. So this painting I started a couple of days ago with acrylic. Yesterday it was oil I used, and today I've got my Costco card because it's actually out of date now, and I'm going to use that to put on some yellow paint for the new piece of paper I've put underneath the jug, because I think it could do with a bit of brightening up the bottom half. I'm not so keen on the brown of the piano, so that's what I'm going to do today. So let's see what happens, and thanks very much for joining me here. After this I'm going to move out to the studio in the garden because the living room stinks of turpentine, and I get a bit more peace in the garden. Okay, right, let me bring you a wee bit closer. I'm just going to put out, I think it's mostly, yeah, it looks like it's lemon yellow, doesn't it? It looks mostly lemon yellow. Oh, do you know what I forgot to do? I was going to wash away first. I was going to wash away first some of the brown that's on there, because I think it's probably still a bit wet. So I'm just going to get some paper towel and stick it into the turps. And now I'll wipe away the surface. Actually, it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be mostly acrylic, I'd say, in the brown. Okay. The reason I'm using the card is because you know, yellow, when it's spread out thinly, it shows the colour underneath it, and so I'm keen for that not to be the case. I want it to be, especially on this side, nice and bright, the yellow. I kind of like that. It feels sunny. And I'll just lift a bit of this up and spread it across here. Maybe get a wee bit more. Paint on there. What, like a weighing scales? Yeah. What? Yeah, we do. It's in the cupboard underneath the toaster, I think. What? Underneath the toaster in the cupboard there. It's one of those low down cupboards. I'm just trying to get that little triangle space between the jug. I suppose when I moved the thing, I shifted the jug a little bit when I put the yellow underneath it. And now there's a little bit more yellow visible there. I'll put it in with a paintbrush, I'd say, because it's a bit tricky to get the... I want it to have the same thickness and to read as being the same as the surface of the table. So that's why I'm wanting to do it with the brush, so that it's a clean, crisp shape. Well, it's in one of them, love. Just making the jug a little bit smaller too. It's funny, in the morning there's 2 windows in this room, so there's light coming from both sides now, which is different from how I started it, I think. It was an afternoon I started it. But I think that's okay anyway. And the yellow makes me feel good here. Yeah, I just want to clarify that little bit there. looks a bit awkward. This lemon yellow oil paint I'm using over the brown acrylic. You can use oil over acrylic, but you can't do it the other way around, just in case any of you wanted to try this. I love getting really thick paint on there. It's not often I do this now, but I think especially in the background it's exciting to have a really to have a strong variety in the thickness of paint between, say, the background and the flowers. Okay, and I want to do the same now with the red as it comes up to meet the jug there. But first, maybe I've left all my brushes in the kitchen. I've just got this little one, this will do. First I wanted to just take the hair off. I want to get that clear triangular shape in here. So that the jug is explained, the shape, the turn of the handle. You know, you just weigh whatever bowl you're going to use to.
What's the measure? Like, it's in kilograms and pounds.
Yeah. And all the tiny little ones are grams. Or what do you want to weigh? Like, how much are you weighing out?
30 grams.
So I think it's in 10 grams that it goes up. Every little mark is 10 grams, I think. I'm just about getting away with that, I think. I want this in here to be, yeah, first I'm going to do this really in blue of the jug again to clear that up. Because I don't like that it's going to get it. It is very clear between the jug and the yellow. It's really clear on that side where the background stops and the jug begins. I'm actually going to clean the brush so that there's not even a hint of yellow on it when I'm doing the blue. That's how separate I want them to be. And I might put a bit of white in with the blue. Got some clean white out here, just to lighten it a little bit. I seem to be picking up animal hairs the whole time. Okay, so there's a good thick bit of paint now to apply here, holding the brush parallel with the page almost, just to get that edge. So you see where the handle is casting a shadow there, it does need to be darker. But maybe not that bit. I must have had yellow on my finger. Oh, for goodness sake. Let's get some kitchen paper to wipe that off. Oh, Lily, she could maybe get her breakfast actually. Thanks. Right. I'm going to put a darker blue on there. So I feel like it's a little bit darker than the handle is, that bit. And the handle comes down there. And there. I'm just going to use the white mixed in with the blue there now a bit to lighten it up along the handle. Okay, and I think on the other side today it's quite bright over there. I'm just going to paint it with a little bit of white on it. Jog on that side. learn my lesson about the yellow. Alright, and finally the red. I do kind of want to make the centre of the flowers a little bit more punchy somehow. I suppose now that the yellow is on the tabletop, I feel like I want to give them more substance, the centres. Make them a little bit thicker. Okay. Yeah, now I think it's the red. Got cadmium red here. A fairly clean palette knife, I think. Oh no, it's not at all clean. I'll squeeze out some more red paint. Okay, I'm going to clean the palette knife. With all my brushes gone there, I'm just going to use the palette knife for this. Anyway, I think the palette knife is a good idea because I want it to have the thick consistency that the tabletop has. So here's some cadmium. Right, how am I going to do this? It'd be easier if I was left-handed. I might just come in from the left side because I want it to read as the clean edge where the background meets the jug there. I'll be putting some in there as well, but I think I better use a brush for that bit. Inside the jug handle, I mean. I'm really loving the brightness of the red with no white mixed into it. So I'm going to use that in other places too. Are you doing that right there, Lily?
Oat milk and cereals and rice.
Okay, now we know oat milk and cereal is not nice. Just bringing some of that bright red from the background in places around the edge where it had been that kind of pastel colour I made because I was wanting, I suppose it is the colour that the background is, that kind of slightly more whitish red, but I like the brightness of the cadmium straight from the tube here. Although I'm making a bit of a pig's dinner, is that what the saying is? Pig's lunch of at the edge in there, so I need to go back and redress that. Lily, would you please bring in the jar of brushes beside the sink there? She's going to ask for money now to do that.
This one.
Yeah.
This one.
Well, the tall jar.
Like the purple one.
With the purple brushes in it.
This one.
I can't turn around that far. Yes, that one.
Okay, I'll use it.
Come on, Lily.
Come on, Anya. Why have you put paint
Thank
on
you.
postcard?
Because it's out of date anyway. and I
but
wanted
you
to use it
renew
for
it.
the. I'm not going to renew it
Why?
because it's just another excuse to like spend loads of money when you go in for one thing. That literally happened the last time. We spent £100 or something, and we just went in to get dog food. Okay, so I've got that brush because I wanted to bring in a bit more clearly the shapes between the petals. Just do a touch there as well. Yeah, I want to bring in more clearly the shapes between the petals. And I don't want it to be hairy at the edge because the thing about the chrysanthemum petals is that they are crisp and clear and bright against the background. At least that's what appeals to me about them. Other people might do them differently. I've seen lovely paintings too where there's a very undefined edge, which can be glorious as well. But there's something in this explaining the edge of things that I really seem to love. Oh, Lily, another one. Every time. Right. Okay. So I'll just find the edge of the petal. I've kind of got a little bit lost. I think some of the petals might have moved slightly as well in the last few days. Or I just not clear which one is which. But I think it's less critical now. I'm happy enough with the composition of the flowers. And so I'll just pick out what I can from the evidence of what's here now. This one is sticking up a bit much actually. Nice to see the sunshine again today now. Take me easy out after this. Okay, so I've told you before these are the burgundy brushes, and I really like them because they're quite springy, and they're called the bright brush, or they're firm in other words. And so it allows you to make quite a clean mark. So just scoop up the paint along one edge and then turn it and paint it down. Quite a thick area of colour then. So it creates a nice ridge to define the edge of the petal. Oh yeah, I was going to do in there, wasn't I? So it's a slightly different shape, but I think it still reads as jug, as this jug. Just join that there. And I think I want to bring that in because it looks a bit odd. It's like I was undecided about where the handle was. I still kind of am. In fact, it probably needs to push out rather than come in. So I'll just lift it a little bit. And I'm making a mess now with my finger on the yellow.
Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Where's your toy? Go get it.
I want to bring the red in there to lift up the handle a bit more.
No.
I've run out of fingers.
We've got 10.
Yeah, but I've run out of fingers that are clean.
That was a joke.
Yeah, I thought you might like to know the information behind it, Lily.
It was a joke. It was just a joke.
Yeah, but a bit of an opening for information for you.
So when somebody tells a joke, you're supposed to laugh.
Here she goes again.
And
I'm sure everyone at home is laughing, Lily.
The fucking reason I made the fucking joke in the first fucking place.
Right, so moving on. Yeah, I'm happy that the handle is a bit thinner there.
What? No. Maisie, out. 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 Out.
No, is there anything else? I feel like I want to go back. I'll get some white because I think as a final move really I could re-establish some white there for the petals of the chrysanthemums. Good titanium white. Oh, and I'll use my Costco card to sort that out there. I don't really want the red. Oh.
Oh, Lily, are you okay? Lily, oh, your poor toe.
Yeah, all of that. Are you okay?
No.
Well, if it was really bad, I'm sure we'd hear about it.
Why is there paint in my cup? Mom. Green paint in my cup.
Well, I hear you for your pain there because I've got red paint where I want there to be yellow paint. I'm having to bridge a gap here.
But,
Mhm.
my cup.
Well, let it just wash it, love.
What?
You could just give it a wash.
Well, there's tea in it. And it was my favourite cup.
Gosh, that red really got in there, didn't it?
Yeah. What?
I'm just talking about the red paint that got into the yellow tabletop.
Why is it like
It's
that?
gone now. It's okay. Right. Why is it like what?
I'm actually not joking.
What do you mean, why is it like
Why
that?
is the yellow paint like that in the bottom?
I spread it on with the Costco cards.
Why?
That's why. Because I like the thickness of it. I like it to be thick on the tabletop and to have a bit of variety between
It
that.
looks like you've just smeared yellow poo.
Well, I've just smeared yellow paint across it, yeah. I like the flatness of the surface.
Do you call yourself an artist?
Lily, you know you just sounded mean there now, so you're going to have to come back and say something nice. Alright, I'm going to use the white and just put some onto the board and then pick it up from there. I put the white paint on the edge of the drawing board there, you see. I'm just going to pick it up with a small brush. With my eyes half closed, you know, every time I look at the flowers, it's a different light, and so different petals catch the light at different times. Last night they were all shining in the electric light, and I put a few more white ones on. But I feel like I get away with it because they could be facing in different directions, and it doesn't seem to be such a feature of this, the direction of the light really. It's more the shapes of things. So I'll just pick up odd bits of pure white straight from the tube and place them down. In the shape of the petals as I see them, and try and explain the curve of the petal as it extends out from the center in the brush stroke, preferably in a single brush stroke so there's not an awful lot going on in the area of the flowers. The yellow going into the red now. good to lean back regularly so that I don't do too much, because it only calls for more everywhere. If you have too much detail in one bit, it seems to kind of make you want to put more detail everywhere, and then you end up with a whole different painting and a whole morning on in the video where I said it'd just be 10 minutes. This is going to take a while to dry, isn't it, this one? Just going to mix up a kind of a greenish colour for the space there. Some people use a thing called a mal stick, you know, it's like a stick that's there that you can rest your hand on when you're painting. But I use my knuckle or my baby finger, the tip of the finger, and that's why I end up with paint on there. But I just can't be, I didn't want to have another piece of equipment to have to hold. Keeping it simple as much as I can. Sorry?
There's paint floating in my tea. And Mum, I told you this was one of the Hoover cups.
That'll be the two dogs down the road, I'd say, passing by, Lily, is it?
Yeah. It is.
There's two particular dogs. Maisie just barks mad. Oh, isn't it? Oh, it's actually the postman. She doesn't usually bark at him.
Dogs.
Oh, it's another dog, okay. I thought it was just the postman she was barking at.
No. Shut up. Hey.
There's something especially dark I've noticed at the rim here, the inside rim.
What's this?
And some dark touches as well where the centre of the flower meets the petals. There's some really dark touches there, so I'm using ultramarine blue and Van Dyke brown to make that really dark colour. And it seemed appropriate after putting the dark in here to bring some dark out here too. It's like you have a license to extend the contrast elsewhere. I don't want to be making it too extreme though.
Oh, Mum.
Yeah? It's your own, isn't it? What is it?
It's not paint.
What is it?
It's like a bit of paper from like putting jam jars in the dishwasher.
Ah. So I'm off the hook.
Yeah, and then here's the one that fills the dishwasher.
I know. And empties it. Just want to outline the shape of the turn of the flower back there. The slightly greyer colour. she scared of the lighter?
No, I'm just there's like a setting on it.
Jeekers, there's a lot of fire coming out of that. Right.
Big or small.
A little bit more white into this one, I think. And to these ones in front, so that they stand in front of the dark behind. You could keep going and keep going, couldn't you? And I don't want to overkill it, like. Sometimes when I lean back, I see another space that I haven't really fully explained. But then it's okay to have blank spaces, isn't it? And that there's a green center of the flower in the background there that I want to give it a bit more of a consistent look with the others. It's actually opened up, that space is opened up, so you can see a bit more of it. It's Margot. I think Margot's tail could be introduced to the painting. Leave it hanging there long enough. It's kind of annoying me in there. Just set it back with a little bit more white in front of it. This petal here. And then there's a white one there too. And this is terribly dirty, this brush. I should really just do my best to leave the white only come off. Okay, I'd say I'm done really. I think I'm just going to stop there. Not really an awful lot more to say on that one. Or do. And Maisie's still here. Okay, so thanks very much for joining in. And my name is Anya Devine. Have a look. There's if you Google my name, you'll find. I was going to say have a look at the links below, but I've not had a chance to put the links on yet. So if you Google my name, you can find my website, and you can log on to my newsletter that way if you want to stay in touch. I'll just bring you a bit closer to see the painting before we head off. I'll take off. I think actually I'm probably louder without the mic on. There's the painting, and I'll come in a wee bit closer just so you can see the thick consistency of the yellow and the quite thin acrylic in the red at the outside anyway. And then there's some really thick areas of jug and flower, and there's also still some of the underpainting of the acrylic evident, especially in the flowers and the centre of the jug there as well. Okay, so I appreciate your company. Join in again another day, and thanks to those of you who comment and stay in touch that way. It's really nice to be in communication. Okay, have a lovely day. All the best. Bye.